Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Retro HD Gaming Channel. In today's video I will show you how you can actually downgrade your PS3 model in 2020, just in case if you have E3 flasher around you, and how you can basically install some package files like Multiman, fan control, latest version of firmware obviously, and basically how you can actually extend the life of your console. So it's gonna be an interesting video. So right here I have a 80 gigabyte model. It is a MO3 model. It is a fat version with NOR flash on it. So obviously right now is basically teared down. It doesn't have a Blu-ray player. I already opened it, fixed the yellow light of that it had, deleted the CPU, and the next thing that I'm actually going to do will be to power up the system and see which firmware actually it runs. Alright, so let's basically power it up console and let's find out which firmware this console actually has. So I'm just gonna skip this intro because I also don't have... oh, okay. So it might actually ask me to reformat the system right now. I was just too fast and too furious. Let me just shut the console and power it again on, just to skip that hard disk check. Alright, so there is a PlayStation 3 logo and that disclaimer on the loading screen. Alright. So actually my friend gave me that console because he knew that I like the old stuff. Okay, so you have... not sure what that is. I think that this firmware might be 4.60, something like that. It is actually 4.80. Alright, so almost the latest one. 4.80. So what I'm gonna do next? So I'm gonna basically from official Sony side download 4.80 firmware, the latest one, and I'm gonna just install it 2 times on this console. So stay tuned for that. I'm just gonna pause the video, download, and we'll just go back to process installation. Alright, so currently the problem that this PS3 model actually have is that the ribbon cable that goes to the motherboard, unfortunately cable is okay, but the connection on the motherboard is broken. And I really wanted to downgrade this console. Before I actually decided to do it, I always have, you know, I always like to update twice to the latest version of the firmware, but unfortunately I cannot do it from the Sony menu because it won't allows me to do that. And the only thing that right now I can do basically is to go and downgrade the console from factory service mode and hope that I might be somehow able to fix this problem and somehow fix the connection on the motherboard. Alright, so yeah, right now I'm just gonna install E3 flasher. Hopefully I'm not gonna lose too much time on it, and we'll proceed to downgrade process, dump validation, flashing back to the NOR and the PS3, and then we'll go with factory series mod installation, so let's do it. Alright, so I managed to install E3 Flasher. Right now we shall see if I'm gonna be lucky, because I didn't use this flasher for a long time and sometimes it simply does not recognize my SD card. I also have another one, but the same thing goes on, and basically sometimes even when you try to dump the flash from your PS3 console, E3 Flasher simply does not recognize your SD card. So hopefully I'm gonna be lucky here, and hopefully everything will work fine from the first attempt. So let's see it. Alright, so we're booting the PS3. As you can see, everything is working perfect. E3 Flasher is lighting up, which means that the connection is here. So what you want to do, you want to put all 6 of switches on the flasher first down, and if you want to make a backup of your NOR, the third one should be flipped up. When we are making the backup, the third one is flipped up on the backup. Once we actually switched all those switches correct, we can start with the backup. Alright, so backup approximately takes around 2 to 3 minutes to be completed, and once we made a backup, we're just gonna make another one, and then we'll check it on the PC to see if the both are the same, and then we will go to the validating process, where we will simply see if the flash console is healthy and if everything is as it should be. Alright, so right now I successfully managed to dump the flash, so I'm just gonna move it on my PC, where I will actually make a backup and proceed with another one. Alright, so we are now on PC, and right here we have PS3 flash that we successfully managed to dump from PS3 console. It is on micro SD card, and I'm just gonna go to the PS3 backup folder. I already created 1 and 2, and the first backup I will just simply copy into the PS3 backup folder 1, and then I'm just going to reformat the micro SD card back to FAT32, put it back to the E3 flasher, dump one more time, NOR, and be 100% positive that the both flashes are the same before proceeding to checking up if the backup is valid. Okay, so let's just repeat the process once again. You really don't need to do that. If you're new to the console modding, you should definitely make at least 2 dumps. Be sure that the both are same, which means that the clip managed to sit properly on the console, so you won't have any problems writing back to the NOR. It's not a problem when you're actually dumping the flash from the motherboard. It's the problem when you're basically writing it back to the PS3 NOR, because sometimes it might happen even if you have 100% wallet backup, you won't break your PS3. But let's say that, you know, Ribbon and Cable just decided that moment to say something, and you know, your flasher might just start working, or electricity might just turn off. So you're just gonna have your console bricked, and you're just gonna need to solve a point, nor tri-state, where you're just gonna need to basically put the console in the factory mode, theoretically, where you can then power it up even if it's bricked, softer bricked, not the harder bricked, and then you can simply flash it back to the NOR, you know. Alright, so let's make one more dump, and then we're just gonna, you know, check the both of them. Okay, so this is the problem that might occur when you try to read or write. So in this case, my E3 flasher basically didn't recognize my SD card, so I'm just going to try to reset it and see if it will work. Alright, so right now I'm just gonna power down my PS3 console. Going to switch on the restore, and right now I'm just gonna check these dumps and compare them if they are the same. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do will be to once again copy and paste that backup that we made in the folder 2, and the next step will be to compare the two backups. If they are the same, that means that the clip is successfully installed on our PS3 NOR flash, and that is very important because you don't really want to have any problems when you decided to patch, successfully check the NOR dump, and you proceed with the restore. Because if you restore, if you attempt to restore, and if basically your flash is broken, you're just gonna end up breaking your console. But from what I can see right here, what my eyes can from experience says that this dump is actually good. As you can see right here, we see some stuff that should be right there, but to be 100% positive that are identical before I actually check them with the program, I will actually compare them. So yeah, from what I can see, it looks like that this is 100% Wally dump. But let me just, first go to analyze and to compare, so I can be 100% positive that the both are the same. Alright, so the chosen files are identical, and that's very important. So right now we can just pick one of those two files because they are identical, and simply drag and drop them to the program so we can be 100% positive that they are actually 100% valid. Alright, so right now the next step that we will do will be checking the flash. So you can obviously check it manually from PS3 the wiki site, There are a couple steps that you actually need to check, but since there is a program that will do that for us, we don't need to do it anymore manually. And also I'm gonna patch the NOR dump to 3.55 version, so I can simply downgrade it and install it from the factory service mode, because my Blu-ray drive at this moment is not working and I simply want to avoid installation from PS3. So there we go, drag and drop. If everything is okay, we can proceed with the backup. So we have actually one of 138 errors, which is pretty much safe, because probably ROS is just not good, and we can simply avoid that. So as you can see, ROS1 hash is not being recognized by this program, and that's pretty much because the program is outdated. It's outdated version, and the firmware is 4.80 or maybe even 4.86, as you can see. Yes, so the ROS1 version says that it's 4.86 because I attempted to install 4.86 and I was not able due to the Blu-ray issues, because you cannot install the new, latest, or any update from a Sony menu, even from recovery menu, because you're gonna get error of writing the firmware, because the firmware actually needs to be written also on Blu-ray motherboard as well, some part of it. So right now we're just gonna go and paste this flash, pretty much patch it to 3.55 and simply copy paste it back to the dump checking folder, where I'm just gonna recheck once again if everything is correct. Obviously it is, because right now the rows will be ROS1 and 2 should be 3.55, and everything will be perfectly fine, as you can see from here. If you get any error from region files, maybe bootloader or bootloader 0, 1, rev keys, anything else, if you get any other errors, you should not proceed with downgrade, because you might break your console. Be 100% sure that you're not getting any error besides the error that I actually showed you. That error is actually safe, it won't break your console, but any other error might break your console if you decide to simply flash the flashback to your NOR, and you're just gonna end up with the console that's dead, and you won't be able to recover it anymore. That's really important, so make sure to be 100% positive that everything is correct. So right now we just need to rename the file back to BKP S3 and pretty much paste it back to our SD card and proceed with restoring process on a NOR flash. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, so we are back. So finally, right here, we have a patched version of our flash from the PS3. I'm just going to put it back to my entry flasher. From backup, I'm switching down to the program, powering up PS3, and I'm waiting for like 20 to 30 seconds for PS3 to boot up, to start doing almost anything, or I hit the start button. So I'm also going to use in this video this Jailbreak dongle, which will help me to basically get in factory service mode, where I will simply install 3.55 custom firmware, and then I'm also going to use it I'm just gonna use to put my PS3 in the factory series mode, and then I'm just gonna use keys to basically with this USB just to get out of the factory series mode. You know, once I manage to install my Rogero 3.55 or 3.55. Alright, so let's just basically, as you can see, everything is going down. Let's just simply click the start and wait for the process to complete. It will probably take around 8 to 12 minutes, depending on the PS3 model, to be flashed back to the PS3 console, so let's wait for it. Alright guys, so we are back, and as you can see, the process completed successfully. Always I like to flip the third switch up on the backup, just in case if I somehow manage to just, you know, by accident click on the start, so I can be 100% positive that I won't start writing something again on my PS3. Alright, so right now I'm just gonna put back my PS3 hard drive. We'll just boot the PS3, and once I boot it, it should say that the version that needs to be installed on PS3 actually needs to be 3.55. There we go. Working with this cable. Might be that this one is a data cable and the other one is just for the power. Let me check. Oh, okay, I see. I didn't even plug my USB cable inside, so that's the reason why it's not working. But it should work right now. Alright. Let's turn the switch. Let's power on the console. It's not working again. It might be simply that it's my alright, there we go. Okay, it actually says that the firmware 4.80 or later needs to be installed, but it really doesn't matter anything because we already flashed down the patched version to the PS3. So the next thing that I'm gonna do I'm just going to put the console into factory service mode, from where I'm just going to install custom firmware. Okay, so in order to put the PS3 into factory service mode, we need to hit power plus eject button quickly. Gonna need to do it again. Alright, so right now the console is basically in factory service mode, from where I'm just going to install custom firmware, which is a Rogero 3.55. And the most important thing is that you need to plug it to the right USB slot, not on the left, but on the right. So from here, you're probably not going to be able to see. I can try to lift my PS3 a little bit so you can actually see that it's plugged in. And you can also see that the hard drive activity will start flashing as well. So once the process is completed, the PS3 will just be shut down by itself. So let's just wait for a couple of moments until that process is completed. Okay, so right now PS3 should be booted up into factory service mode, and I just want to show you that. And after that, I will put the keys to simply remove it from factory service mode, and from there I will try to somehow attempt to repair my Blu-ray drive. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do it, but hopefully I will. Alright, so as you can see, it says Rogero on the PS3 screen, but it also says that the console is in PS3 factory service mode, and the most important thing is from here, just plug the controller in. I don't know why, but the controller is not working. It's a very old controller. It might be even broken, I'm quite sure, so yeah, looks like that something's stuck. Alright, never mind. So I'm just gonna power down the console, and we'll basically put the keys on the USB drive, or the USB, so I can basically put it out of factory service mode. Alright, so back with the key, plug it to the right side of PS3, turn the power off, turn the power on, turn on the PS3 ignition, wait for the keys to be loaded, and the PS3 should be shut down by itself. There it is. So the PS3 just turned on. I'm just going to put the PS3 right now. And that's pretty much it. The PS3 is right now downgraded from firmware 4.80 to 3.55. Sony make believe. And right now you basically need to go through the whole process of setting up your PS3 console. This is not the original hopefully going to be able somehow to go through this setup process. Alright, so it really doesn't matter which time it is and blah blah blah. It's 2020 obviously. I'm just looking forward to show you that this console is successfully flashed and downgraded to version 3.55. So there is the app home and also install package file folder, going down to system settings, system information. It says that it is a 4.25 just because it have spoof installed in it, but it's actually 3.55. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please click the subscribe button, click also that notification bell so you don't miss any future video, and make sure to hit the thumbs up as well. So if you have any questions, just feel free to leave the comments below. I'm more than glad to answer to all of your questions to help you out. If you are new to this, if you would like some questions, if you need help checking your maybe PS3 flash, you can definitely send me a message, and I'm more than glad to help you out. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.